Welcome back to the board. Today, two of the strongest shogi engines face off, Tunigan_CPP2 moving first, as sent, against pt-v0.0.4. Let's follow it quietly, move by move. Cent pushes the pawn to 76. Goat pushes the pawn to 84. Cent pushes the pawn to 26. Goat pushes the pawn to 85. Cent plays the bishop to 77. Goat pushes their pawn to 34. Cent brings their silver to 78. And Goat pushes their pawn to 74. Now Cent pushes their pawn to 25. Goat moves their king to 52. Cent pushes the pawn to 24. Goat's bishop captures the bishop on 77, promoting to a horse, with check. Cent's silver captures the horse on 77, a blunder that now clearly favors Cent. The engine preferred the knight capturing the horse instead. Goat's pawn captures the pawn on 24. Cent drops a bishop to 55, a blunder that clearly favors Goat. The engine preferred rook captures 24. Goat drops a bishop to 33. Cent's bishop captures the bishop on 33, promoting to a horse. The engine preferred simply capturing the bishop on 33, as this was a mistake that now clearly favors Cent. Goat's knight then captures the horse on 33. Cent's rook captures the pawn on 24, a mistake the engine thought drops a bishop on 46 would have been better, and the game now clearly favors Cent. Goat pushes the pawn to 86. Cent captures the pawn on 86. Goat's knight advances to 45. Cent drops a bishop on 66, a mistake that clearly favors Goat, as the engine preferred dropping a bishop on 46 instead. Goat drops a pawn on 88. Cent silver takes the pawn on 88. Goat's rook takes the pawn on 86. Cent plays the gold to 58, a blunder that clearly favors Cent, as the engine preferred the silver to 48. Goat plays the knight to 73. Cent pushes the pawn to 46. Goat drops a bishop on 95. Cent moves the king to 48, a blunder that clearly favors Goat, as the engine preferred the gold to 68 instead, though Cent has built a Yagura-style castle around the king. Goat plays the bishop to 84. Cent's bishop captures Goat's bishop on 84. Goat's rook captures the silver on 88, promoting to a dragon. Cent's bishop captures the knight on 73, promoting to a horse. And Goat's dragon captures the knight on 89. Well, Cent plays the gold to 59, which is a blunder. The engine preferred dropping a bishop on 78 instead, and the game now clearly favors Cent. Goat's dragon captures the lance on 99. Cent's pawn captures the knight on 45. Goat drops a knight to 35, but Cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the silver to 38, but the engine preferred dropping a bishop on 33 instead. Goat drops a silver on 64, but Cent is clearly on top now. Cent's horse takes the pawn on 74, and they're clearly on top. Goat drops a lance on 46, checking the king. Cent drops a knight on 47, a blunder as the engine preferred the king to 39 instead, and the game now clearly favors Cent. Goat plays the lance captures the knight on 47, promoting to a promoted lance, with check, and Cent is clearly on top now. Cent captures the promoted lance with the silver on 47. Goat captures the silver on 47 with the knight, promoting to a promoted knight, with check, though Cent is clearly on top now. Cent's horse captures the promoted knight on 47, though Cent is clearly on top now. Goat plays the silver to 32. Cent plays the rook to 22, promoting to a dragon, which was a blunder, as the engine preferred dropping a knight on 56, and the game now clearly favors Cent. Goat drops a pawn on 21, which doesn't change the fact that cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the dragon to 26, a blunder that the engine preferred to 25 instead, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat drops a knight to 55, though cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the horse to 56, maintaining a clear advantage. Goat drops the dragon to 88, but cent is still clearly on top. Cent drops a lance to 66, which the engine didn't like, preferring the king to 39, and this is now a blunder. Goat drops a silver on 47, delivering check. Cent's horse takes the silver on 47, and cent is clearly on top now. Goat's knight takes the horse on 47, promoting to a promoted knight, with check. Cent's king takes the promoted knight on 47, and cent is clearly on top now. Goat plays the silver to 55. Cent drops a bishop on 73, and is clearly on top now. Goat captures the lance on 66 with the silver, but cent is still clearly on top. Cent captures the silver on 66 with the pawn, and is clearly on top. Goat plays the lance to 92. Cent plays the bishop to 46, promoting to a horse, which is a blunder, as the engine preferred the bishop to 55, promoting to a horse instead, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat drops a bishop on 87, and cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a silver on 65, which the engine didn't like, preferring a pawn drop on 89, and this move is a blunder. Goat plays the silver to 62, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a knight on 55, and is clearly on top now. Goat moves the gold to 42, but cent is still clearly on top. Cent drops a knight on 24, which was a blunder, as the engine preferred the knight capturing the pawn on 43, promoting to a promoted knight. Goat plays the silver to 33, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a silver on 32, a blunder that clearly favors cent now, the engine preferred knight to 32, promoting to a promoted knight. Goat drops a lance on 41. Cent drops a knight on 75, which was a blunder, as the engine preferred capturing the pawn on 43 to promote to a promoted knight, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat pushes the pawn to 44, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the pawn captures the pawn on 44, a blunder, as the engine preferred the knight captures the pawn on 63, promoting to a promoted knight instead. Goat silver captures the pawn on 44, and now cent is clearly on top. Cent drops a pawn to 43, a blunder that now clearly favors cent, and the engine here preferred a knight capturing the pawn on 63 instead, promoting to a promoted knight. Goat plays the gold to 33, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent pushes the pawn to 42, promoting it to a token with check, a blunder that the engine preferred to avoid by capturing with the knight on 63. Goat's king captures the token on 42, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a pawn on 43, checking Goat's king. Goat's king moves to 51, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the knight capturing the pawn on 63, promoting to a promoted knight, a blunder the engine preferred, the game now clearly favoring cent. Goat pushes the pawn to 14. Cent's promoted knight captures the silver on 62, checking Goat, but the engine preferred the silver capturing the lance on 41, promoting. Goat's gold captures the promoted knight on 62, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a silver to 63, a blunder that now clearly favors cent, and the engine preferred capturing the lance on 41, promoting to a promoted silver instead. Goat plays the gold to 61. Cent plays the horse to 73, delivering check, and is clearly on top now. Goat drops a pawn on 62, and cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the silver to 72, promoting to a promoted silver, though the engine preferred capturing the pawn on 62 instead. Goat takes the promoted silver on 72 with the gold, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the horse, captures the gold on 72, and is clearly on top now. Goat plays the lance, capturing the pawn on 43. Cent drops a gold on 41, checking the king, a blunder which the engine preferred to be a knight to 63 instead, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat moves the king to 52, and cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the king to 38, a blunder that the engine preferred to see as a silver to 74, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat drops a knight on 51, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a pawn on 45, a blunder that the engine preferred to be a gold to 31 instead, but the game still clearly favors cent. Goat plays the silver to 55, though cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the pawn to 56, a blunder that the engine preferred to be the gold to 31 instead, though the game now clearly favors cent. Goat drops a pawn on 71, though cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the horse to 83, a blunder, as the engine preferred the horse to capture the pawn on 71 instead. Goat silver captures the pawn on 66, but cent is clearly on top here. Cent's horse moves to 74, delivering a check. Goat's knight moves to 63, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a pawn on 64, a blunder that now clearly favors cent, and the engine preferred capturing the knight on 63 instead. Goat silver captures the knight on 75, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent's pawn captures the knight on 63, promoting to a token, with check. Goat's pawn captures the token on 63, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent drops a knight on 55, a blunder that surprisingly makes the game now clearly favor cent, though the engine preferred the horse to 73. Goat responds by dropping a knight on 51, but cent is still clearly on top. Cent drops a pawn on 64, a blunder, as the engine preferred capturing the lance on 43 with the silver, promoting to a promoted silver. Goat plays the pawn to 72, though cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the pawn, captures the pawn on 63, promoting to a token, with check. Goat's knight captures the token on 63, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent's horse captures the knight on 63, with check, a blunder, as the engine preferred the knight capturing the knight on 63, promoting to a promoted knight instead, and the game now clearly favors cent. Goat's king moves to 61. Cent drops a knight on 83, a blunder that clearly favors cent, as the engine preferred the silver to capture the lance on 43, promoting to a promoted silver instead. Goat drops a pawn on 62, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent's horse captures the pawn on 53, a blunder that now clearly favors cent, the engine preferred the silver capturing the lance on 43, promoting to a promoted silver instead. Goat drops a pawn on 46, but cent is clearly on top now. Cent plays the horse to 52, checking the king and leading to a forced checkmate, though the engine preferred capturing the lance on 43 with a silver, promoting to a promoted silver. Goat's king takes the horse on 52, but cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent's silver captures the lance on 43, promoting to a promoted silver, with check, and cent now has a forced checkmate. Goat's king takes the gold on 41, but cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent plays the knight to 32, promoting to a promoted knight with check, and cent now has a forced checkmate. Goat takes the promoted knight on 32 with the gold, but cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent plays the dragon, captures the pawn on 21 with check, and now has a forced checkmate. Goat drops a gold on 31, building a Yagura-style castle around the king, but Cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent's promoted silver captures the gold on 32 with check, and Cent now has a forced checkmate. Goat's king moves to 52, but Cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent drops a lance on 53, checking the king and maintaining the forced checkmate. Goat's king moves to 61, and Cent still has a forced checkmate. Cent drops a gold on 71 with check, a blunder that now clearly favors Goat, as the engine preferred dropping a gold on 52 instead. And there it is, Tunigan_CPP2 takes the game. Thank you for sitting with me at the board. I'll see you at the next one.